All right, y'all. So I'm about to tell y'all what done it for me. What made me realize I was playing the wrong game. And that's when I bought my first property and realized the amount I paid for it was way less than what I paid in lawyer fees over the time of me being in the streets, taking penitentiary chances, chasing dollars after dollars, and, spending it right back out. So I realized I was playing the wrong game when I paid almost 20 some thousand for my first property, and it was a multi unit. I rented out both sides. Got back my initial investment that I put into that house within the first year. So every dollar after that I collected was all free. And that's not including the value of the house. We just talk about the down payment money that I put up, which I got it all back. Every dollar is free and clear. Plus the value of the house is still going up. At the time when I bought it, it was probably worth about 150 ish maybe. Now it's at 220 easy. That's 70 some $1,000 in all free money if I ever decide to sell the house or refinance the house. So that made me realize I was playing the wrong game because there's no type of investments out there right now where you can spend that type of money but get back 10 times the money or even 100 times the money and still cash flow from that property. All right, y'all. So I'm about to tell y'all my experience I had with real estate when I first got out of prison, right? So look, this what made me realize I was playing the wrong game and that the real estate game really wasn't no different than the streets. The only difference was one was considered legitimate, the other wasn't. So I said that to say my first real encounter with real estate that made me realize I was playing the wrong game was when I first signed that 30-year mortgage on my first property. And I'm just reading the closing documents and going through reading line from line, realizing how much the title company didn't charge, how much a realtor fees was, how much document fees was, which ain't shit but them printing off a piece of paper. And seeing how expensive everything was for no fucking reason. It just sounded good. Like, and there's so many other fees and commissions I ain't about to get into, including even the final price that you're gonna pay for that house, even after 30 years of owning it. And that number was somewhere in the ballpark of $180,000 extra I'd have been paying on the house. So whereas I bought, I don't remember the asking price, but I'm gonna just say 100,000 for the sake of the video. At the end of that 30-year mortgage with interest payments and all the other fees that goes into buying a house, I was looking at spending 280,000 for that 100,000 dollar house. That's how much extra you paying for that house if you're not applying any additional payments to your principal amount, because every payment you make each month ain't going towards paying off the full loan. You ain't even scratched the surface yet. So you'll have to go back to my other videos where I break that down. But I said that to say, when I signed that 30-year mortgage, it reminded me of the streets because it was like signing a fucking horrible plea agreement all over again that was about to get me sent up the road for 30 motherfucking years. So that was my first encounter. And I'm not even gonna say when I'm looking at all the other aspects of the documents and I'm reading demographics, whether you black, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever, buying this property. Like, what you want to know all this information for? Like, unless you're using it for something you don't supposed to be using it for. But that's a whole nother story. But that was an encounter that I'm like, damn, this shit is real. Like, this is crazy. Or even the fact that back to that $100,000 house that y'all allowed me to put, let's say maybe 10% down on it, which was 10 grand, but I'm able to carry the remaining balance into the mortgage, which ain't gonna be 100,000 after the 30 years, but that's why your whole goal is to pay off a house as fast as you can. But me, I be lazy sometimes. I can pay a house off and just keep it in place just so they can take care of all the paperwork aspect, the insurance on it, escrow payments, making sure that. So I only got one bill. Let them take care of all the other little miscellaneous bills that goes in between, as far as paying my property taxes for me, paying the insurance on the house, all that. I be lazy. I let them take care of all that. So that has stopped me from paying off a couple houses because I'm like, I'll let them take care of all that and then just continue building value in this house to borrow against it if I need to, even take out a additional loan on this property. So that's another beauty about real estate that made me realize I was playing the wrong game, because the borrowing power that you can get in real estate is nowhere close to the borrowing power that the streets get you as far as borrowing wise go, because I ain't never been a borrowing type of person, but to know that I can, that's always beautiful, because as long as I know that I can, there's no such thing as ever taking a bad lick that I can't shake back from. So I'm gonna let that one sink in for you. As long as you can buy something for pennies on a dollar and always be able to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars though on it, that's a no-brainer to me. And that's not even including all the money you should be making in between owning that house, from whether you Airbnb it or you renting it out, you transitional living. Man, there's endless stuff that you could do in real estate. So that's not even including that money. This is like a whole nother set of umbrella or money that you always can tap into if you ever need it. So back to how I originally got on that subject before I get too far ahead. That first encounter, reading the paperwork, seeing the loan amount and all that, I'm like, damn, it actually felt more of a scam than the fucking dope game to me for whatever reason. Which I'm gonna get to on this next one as far as my other encounter with my very first realtor. He was trying to pretty much get me to max out my whole fucking loan. Like, uh, he wasn't even listening to none of the stuff I was trying to tell him to do or the houses that I would prefer. He was only looking for 200, 300. Hell, one of them was more than what the my pre-approval amount was, and he like, I can talk him down. I can get him to agree to this amount. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking, my, I bet you can. So never fall for that one. That's a side note. That's free game right there. Is never let your realtor talk you into buying a house for your full pre-approval amount, which is, let's just say you get approved for 250,000. You thinking in your mind, oh, I'm about this big old house with a white picket fence and swimming pool in the back for the kids and all that. So you done spent every single dollar that you were pre-approved for. So you stuck with that monthly bill that you wasn't even expecting to have, just because you let your realtor talk you into maxing out your full loan. So you never want to do that. In fact, you want to always leave enough room in the amount that you don't spend. So in case this particular house don't work out for you, you still got more than enough to buy your next house. Because when you keep maxing out your loans, you pretty much ain't setting yourself up to be approved for nothing else other than that. So them is free Jews that ain't even got nothing to do with this video right here. Well, it do got something to do with this video, but free Jews. So moving along, after I close on the house, hey, it's time to celebrate. It's time to check it out. Wrong. That's when you start realizing that real estate is just like the streets, when your neighbors is complaining on your tenants or people stealing stuff from around, your property, or vandalizing vehicles, you name it. The city fining you for not cutting your grass, or you got to bring certain stuff up to par. And I'm like, damn, like, I thought once you bought this house, you own this house. You shouldn't have to follow no other rules other than, the ones we know to do. So, wrong. You pretty much don't own nothing here. And that's another reason why I'm big on not giving a fuck how much debt I actually have, as long as it's producing a nice cash flow for me. It's all about the dollar for me. So the debt number, that plays a major factor in approval for a lot of stuff. But if you know how to leverage it right and make sure every liability that you have, you got some form of asset that's paying for it, then you got no problems as far as getting unlimited funding and turning debt into cash. Whole nother video, but those are always an option. So like I said, man, hopefully you got something from that video, and I'm gonna give y'all more of my experience with real estate coming out of prison, or my experience with real estate coming from the streets. And like, damn, this shit ain't no different. It's damn near all one and the same. It's just one considered legal, the other one is not. But like I said, if you want more of this type of content, let me know. Drop a couple comments, and peace. Off the neighborhood, or you know, pretty much do whatever I wanted to do because I was sitting in a fucking cell. But that's a whole nother story.